The question is some member going to seek the call? Maggie Barry.
Mr. Speaker. I rise to speak to the Reserve Bank of New Zealand amending primary function of Bank Amendment Bill number 2. The Members' Bill is in the name of New Zealand First Leader Winston Peters, and it's set down for its first reading. Well, guess what, Mr. Speaker? I'm a fan of recycling, but the member takes it too far. Too far. Once again, it's his old hobby horse. We've seen it emerge, and years ago, let's just get the Reserve Bank, turn it on its ear, add on a whole lot of extra tasks, have someone else to blame, have a lot of sort of Trojan horses around it. Again, the New Zealand public, as they have many times before, are not about to be taken in by these show pony antics. This economy, under the careful stewardship of our Finance Minister, Bill English, is in safe hands. To even acknowledge that there are any points of value in this would be to negate the great work that is being done at the moment. We have, under this administration, wages growing, cost of living increases have been modest, interest rates are at 50-year highs. These are not to be denied, even by the great detractor himself. Getting on with the job and building a stronger economy is where New Zealand needs to be out. We need to have safe stewardship and sensible ideas and notions. This is all stuff and nonsense. There's not too much stuff in it, actually, because it lacks substance, much like the member who proposes it. When I look at what I have here, it takes us back 20, 30 years. The member who spoke earlier was entirely right. These are failed old policies of the past. They will not work and cannot be countenanced. New Zealand is doing better than so many other countries. This is the kind of divisive measure and foolishness, really. I mean, we had the Reserve Bank Governor in this morning. We were talking at Finance and Expenditure about what's going on with the economy, and the Reserve Bank talked to us about the things that they feel are going well. To broaden out their mandate in the way that this is seeking to do is abject foolishness. It won't work, it can't work, it hasn't worked in the past and won't work again. This member has been bellowing at others over the course of the last few hours, saying they don't get to the point and don't address it. Of course, we saw a stunning example of that in the member's own call on Kuiper, which had nothing whatsoever to do with the bill. So I will take my lead from that member briefly and concentrate on the good things that we are doing with this economy. We are taking New Zealand forward by building a more competitive economy based on higher savings, less debt and much healthier government finances. We're not about the borrow and boom bust, the nonsense and the failed measures of Labor. 9 long years. Where is the parrot? Where is he? No, he's not there at the moment. 9 long years of a Labor government, and where did it get us? Very bad financial situation. The borrowing, the nonsense, the failed policies of Labor have come together perfectly, actually, under this bill. I'm not surprised that Labor supports it, because it's the same nonsense. Next we'll have the Greens standing up talking about printing money, because that's actually what they'd rather be doing than strong fiscal management, having to be disciplined and restrained around spending, because frankly, what is it, $8 billion minimum that Treasury have been trying to cost out at some of the bribes, the arrangements that Labor would have to come to if they got into bed with the Greens, the ridiculous notions they're going to stop Transmission Gully. One of those members over there wants to get on her bike and stop everybody travelling out of Wellington in a safe and timely fashion. These are the kind of strange and perilous things.
Sorry, is this a point of order?
Yes, it is to do with the rules.
Order!
It's a point of order to do with...
Order! Points of order will be heard in silence.
Precisely. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now, there is a requirement that the issue of debate be relevant. And there's no way this last little diatribe remotely refers to the bill. We've heard about the Greens...
Order!
Printing money...
Order! That is not a point of order. The member was debating. The member who raised the point of order may not be happy, but the member should not interrupt a speaker. I've already ruled on it. The point of order was out of order. Maggie Barry, you have just over a minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When we look at what is happening with the Federal Bank in Australia, let's look at how we compare internationally. The Reserve Bank monetary policy frameworks around the world amount to inflation targeting. This is what our Reserve Bank needs to concentrate on. This is what needs to happen if we are to continue to succeed as a nation. I would not commend this bill to the House House in any way, shape or form. No word in it, no policy in it is new or workable or viable. It is doomed to fail. It is absolutely an abject piece of nonsense, and it was with great pleasure that I have spoken to kick it into touch, because that's what it deserves. It's arrant nonsense, to quote someone from the other side of the benches, and I think that much like the member itself, its time has not come, it is not relevant and will not aid anything at all to our country, and that is why I do not commend it or recommend it in any way, shape or form to the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Julianne Genter.
Thank you, Mr.